Hello, I am Jason and welcome to another episode of Historically Marked. This is a Route 66 edition and I am in Joplin, Missouri. And about 10 years ago, as a matter of fact, it'll be 10 years ago next month in May 2021, that the city had one of the worst natural disasters in American history when a tornado struck through here. But the city has rebuilt itself, and I mean, it depends a lot on tourism, and it's got a nice economy, and of course, it doesn't forget its Route 66 past. But another disaster occurred at this spot, and I am outside the former spot of the Connor Hotel, which was a Route 66 landmark for a long time. It is now a library, but now it's going to, well, in the future, it's going to be a downtown campus of Missouri Southern State University. I know I sound like a local with the Missouri thing, but I'll go ahead and show you a marker and the building. So here we go. See, here's the sign that says it's going to be a future campus. But here's the marker right over here. And by the way, this is the first of many markers that I'll be encountering like in Oklahoma, because it's going to have very similar ones that have this kind of format with Will Rogers on there. Now, the Will Rogers Highway is a nickname for Route 66. For those of you who don't know who Will Rogers was, he was a humorist and he was one of the most famous people during the Great Depression. He lived life to the fullest, and I mean, a lot of people say there should be a Will Rogers for every generation. But he died in a plane crash, you know, during his popularity in North Alaska, and he was trying to do some sort of flying record, but it didn't work out. But there's gonna be a lot of Will Rogers stuff here in Oklahoma. But here is the one about the Connor Hotel. It talks about Joplin's industries and how it became the center of one of the most important mining fields in the world. In 1906 and 1907, the Connor Hotel was built to provide accommodations for parties and banquets of the 4th and Main Street area, which was the Joplin's social life for camp crowders, soldiers. Going down. And despite the dream of the last owners, Burl M. and Ceola Garvin, to refurbish the hotel, the last business in the hotel closed in 1977. In 1973, it doesn't say on here, but it said in my notes that the Connor Hotel was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Well, in 1978, the building collapsed, not this one, but the one that was on the spot, and a library was built in its place. And down here, it talks about Route 66, 1926, blah, blah, blah. You probably heard me say it in all my videos. And down here is a famous Will Rogers quote: "We can't all be heroes because somebody has to sit on the curb and clap as they go by." Okay. That's what I tell you, you know. He was full of humor. And on the back, some of these have a lot on the back, like who this is dedicated to. And 2001, which, yeah, it was 20 years ago. It marked the 75th anniversary of US Highway 66, making this year, 2021, the 95th anniversary. Not too far from 100, I'm just saying. So oddly enough, it doesn't say anything about Connor, but the Connor Hotel was the brainchild of Thomas Connor, who was an early 20th century millionaire based here in Joplin. But before the Connor Hotel was built, Connor owned the Joplin Hotel, and he had that torn down and built the Connor Hotel in its place. So, however, Connor died at the age 60 in 1907, just right as this was about to open, at the age of 60. When the new hotel opened in 1908, the new hotel was named the Connor Hotel in memory of him. And then it saw a tragic end, and I say tragic, I mean not just because it collapsed, but it also killed two men, Thomas Oakes and Frederick Coe. And there was a third, he survived, but he was injured in the process. Alfred Summers was rescued 82 hours. He was trapped in the ruins on the spot. So, hope you learned a little bit of Route 66 history here in Joplin. And on the same grounds of the building is one of these State Historical Society of Missouri and State Highway Commission markers. This one was erected in 1953. It talks a lot about the history of Joplin up until 1953. It says the same thing about it being a lead and zinc industry town. And then it's also got more stuff on the back. And here's the back side of it. It does not mention anything about Route 66 because Route 66 was at the height of its popularity. Nobody was going to know it was going to be a historical route or route. But it says here it's a resort area. It was a resort area of spring-fed streams. And I did not know this, but it was also known as the capital of the Empire District. Wow. During the central parts of 4 states, and that means Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Arkansas is a little bit farther, but I guess they just wanted to include it. And then it talks about Webb City, the town I was just at. And then there's the Mineral Museum, which I hope to pass by later today. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason in downtown Joplin, Missouri, in front of the old Connor Hotel and in front of the former library. So happy travels. I'll see you guys all around. I'm signing off. Thank you.